Good morning, everybody. We are from the Student Skills Enrichment Board of Studies Operation. We are here again on this Sunday, and we are here to present again practical training module session with you. The session, as you know, starts at 10:30 every Sunday, and we are on live now. The session is for our dear students, and I welcome our students who are live now and who are going to be live in the future from the YouTube and from DLH platform. I welcome our Chairman Sir C.A. Sushil Kumar Goyal ji and our Vice Chairman Sir C.A. Mupala ji. And I also welcome our today's session speakers C.A. Sanjeev Singh Sanghi ji and Sarita Agarwal ji. Welcome you, sir. So today we are here again, and this is our 22nd live session on practical training assessment module. And today topic is also very interesting. It's top 10 Google apps to automate your work and office from anywhere, anytime. So today's topic is really interesting, and C.A. Sanjeev Sanghi ji will going to start the session. The Student Skill Enrichment Board is presenting this session every Sunday live. So students who are not able to join at this time can access the session from DLH platform going in the Student Skill Enrichment Board, and they can also see from the YouTube channel. So the session will be live till 1 o'clock, and today's topic will be expressed to you by our C.A. Sanjeev Sahni ji and Sarita Agarwal ji. Welcome you, sir. Sanjeev ji ka I tell you a brief profile. Sanjeev ji is the present secretary of EIRC. He is a chartered accountant, a fellow chartered accountant, and has 24 years of experience in fintech industry. He has also a DISA qualified and a certified course in Java done and software development. And he has over 100 of clients overseas. And he's presenting technology-based consultancy and accounting solutions. Welcome, sir. Welcome, Sanjeev ji.
Thank you.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, my voice is audible?
Yes, sir. Your voice is audible. And I also welcome Sarita Agarwal ji. She is a fellow member of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and done honors degree in finance and accounting from University of Calcutta. She is expert in both Indian and US accounting and has been leading the US operations of cloud in Info Solutions. I welcome you, ma'am, also. And the session will first of all going to be started by Sanjeev ji. Welcome you, sir. Please take the session.
Thank you so much, Jenny, Smita, and Vidhi for giving me this opportunity. And I would like to thank Sushil Goyal, sir, the chairman of Student Skill Enrichment Board of Studies of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And welcome all the students who are over here joining this session. I think you have already taken the first step of this great initiative of, enriching yourself, upgrading yourself. So today's session is basically divided into two parts, wherein we are going to talk about, automation and why automation is required. That is what we need to discuss, and how we can automate our work, organize ourselves, organize our office. And just remember one thing, once you learn how to automate and organize yourself, not only will you bring efficiency within you, you also go back to your organization, your firm, and you will start organizing them. Then you go back and organize your clients, and that will bring a special attribute in you, and people will start looking at you as a different level. Imagine a work, a GST return filing or an income tax return, or basically, going through emails, and you have learned how to be efficient. You can do things at much lesser time and a more better way. So this session is going to be very, very important for you. I'll be very, very happy. Whenever you want, you can post your questions in the question box, and we'll be very happy to answer those questions as and when it comes in. So let's start the session. Let me share my screen. So before even getting into this Google application, let me, give you a broader overview of, the change which you need to bring in. We all know that the world is changing, and it's going in a rapid place. With all the students, most of you have understood that, now we are not only talking about computers, we are talking about ABCD, we are talking about artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, data analytics, and many of us have started taking that as a career option as well. You know, right now, any student who is actually parallelly learning these skills together with his CA course, that is going to bring a huge value in their course, in their curriculum, in their career. So imagine a situation wherein you are a robotic process automation expert, or you are a data scientist, or you become an AI expert, or you start learning blockchain, you start learning Python, you start learning R. That brings so much of confidence in you because you are ahead of time. You are basically a differentiator among the rest. Eh, And that, the company, when you go for a job or when you're looking for consulting projects, they will pick you up because you serve as a differentiator over there. And adding to that, if you learn, these automation tools, that will bring a huge amount of, career opportunities for you. So for that, there are three magical words which you need to learn and understand. One is adapt. As soon as you think that you want to change yourself, you need to learn how to adapt to these changes. And as said by Charles Darwin in his famous quote, it is not important to be strong. It is not important to be intelligent. The only person who is going to survive are the people who are most adaptable to change. And let me ask you a question. We have seen dinosaurs, we have seen, who were huge, strong, big animals, but they are not existing anymore. But one animal or one living being which is still existing from last thousands of years, that is one, that is cockroaches. I know most of us don't like cockroaches, but those are the only living element which is existing for thousands of years. And for only one reason, they are most adaptable to change. So with any change, they adapt themselves. So if you are used to, you know, taking notes, start learning how to learn online. Start learning from YouTube. Start learning from, Coursera, from online, courses like, Khan Academy, YouTube, and many other stuff. So this is the change you need to bring in yourself. Instead of just going through the books, you need to learn how to learn from the learning platforms, from the learning management systems. So adaptability is one thing which is very important. The second important thing which you need to know is transformation. Transform yourself where you are available, accessible, and workable anytime. Now, why this is so important? Today, every company is looking for students and people to work anytime from anywhere. Now, gone are the days when you are traveling and you are going to a particular, office and working over there. Today, in my company, we have clients across the world and we have our team members who are working from anywhere in the country. So imagine a situation when you have clients across the world and you have your team working from different parts of the country and you have documents which are stored online. So that is the technology and that's the future I'm talking about, wherein your office, you are working from home, but you are working for different clients. You are working for different employers, which we call as gig work, which we call as moonlighting. I don't know how many of you have heard of the word called moonlighting, but this is the future phenomena. It's very, very important that we need to learn how we can create a virtual setup within ourselves, how we can create an environment wherein we can, be present, we can respond, we can communicate, we can engage ourselves, and we can do work for a client who can be in any part of the world. That is what we need to learn today, how this is possible and how we can actually do it. That's the transformation we need to bring within us, that we are now not only knowledgeable, not only being skilled, but we are accessible anytime from anywhere. And the third important thing is innovation. You know, if we only focus on doing just regular work, those are all getting automated. So we need to apply specialized skills within us. We need to create a boutique within us. So when you go to America or you go to any part of the world, you will see there are restaurants like McDonald's, there are Pizza Hut. Now these are general stores. They are just machine made. But then you go to a boutique. So boutique are basically customized and designed pizza, which everyone wants to have it. Similarly, in our profession, once you become a chartered accountant, and if you think of, just doing filing of GST return or of income tax or doing a regular tax audit or a bank audit, those work don't exist. And the client is not looking for us to actually do those work anymore because those are all taken up by machines. I don't want to get into those technicalities, but today client is looking for value-based services. They are looking for services where you are basically guiding them, consulting them to help them grow, cost, to open different operations, to get the entire information at the click of a button. These are expectations of future clients. So you have to learn how to innovate. If I repeat once again, three magical words which you need to bring within yourself is adapt, transform, and innovate. I think this is a message which I wanted to share with you. Let's get into the topic. Thank you so much to the organizers for giving a wonderful introduction about me. The first thing which we want to discuss today is introduction to cloud computing and why this is important. We have heard so many times about cloud computing, and many of you may be saying, sir, when a data is stored on the cloud, that is cloud computing. Many of you say, sir, if we access data from the cloud, that is cloud computing. Well, all of that are right answers. But the best way to understand this is, when you work on cloud, when you compute on cloud, computing is basically when you are working on cloud is basically cloud computing. And this is the biggest gift to us, to this new generation, where they get millions of softwares available to them, either free of cost, where knowledge is no more a barrier, where skills is no more a barrier, where learning is no more a barrier. Now, Institute is taking such a wonderful initiative every Sunday to give you some topic which are futuristic, which is basically something which will make you start thinking beyond the box. Otherwise, in our age, 25 years back, we were only confined towards books, and we are just dependent on books. Today, you have got so much of platforms available. You have got digital learning hub. You have got so much of resources available, so much of slides shared, PowerPoints. So information knowledge is no more a challenge. And it is all because of cloud computing, because all these websites are providing tons of informations to you free of cost, or maybe at a very, very subsidized rate. You want to learn Excel, you want to learn Power BI, you want to learn macros, you go into YouTube and just type in, you find thousands of videos available to you. You want to develop a PowerPoint on a technical subject, what will happen? You go into SlideShare, you type in the subject, you'll find hundreds and thousands of PowerPoint related to it. And the list goes on and on. This is the power of cloud computing, where the world is offering you, something like Google Docs, which we are going to discuss, Gmail, Hotmail, Facebook, YouTube, groups, Skypes, APIs, all of this. Let me make you understand the real concept of cloud computing. Imagine you book a ticket in Clear Trip or Make My Trip, travel from Calcutta to Delhi. And you go into Make My Trip and put in Calcutta and Delhi with a defined date. And you get, 20, 30, 40, 50 options that, all right, this is the carrier, this is the time, this is the cost. And you see all this data and you pick up one of those which is matching your requirement or your priorities. Now, how does this data comes to Make My Trip? From SpiceJet, from Indigo, from Jet Airways, or from different airlines. They don't have those databases. It's mirroring. It's basically API. So the world has started sharing information. That data is basically shown as a mirror to us. We book the ticket, and then these companies, charge a small little commission to the airline companies, and that's how they make money. So what is happening? This is basically giving us more comfort and convenience. That's what cloud computing is all about. Facebook, we all understand. YouTube, we all understand. All these people, all these companies who are working on cloud are basically giving us convenience. Now, if we go a little bit ahead, you have talked about Zoho, we talk about Google, we talk about Microsoft. They are coming up with a whole, I would say, a mall of services which they provide. Like if you talk about Google in the next slide, they have more than 50 to 100 different applications which they are providing to us at just one single cost, where you can, Google things, you can do YouTube, you can do Google Docs and a host of things. Same with Microsoft. I don't know how many of you are using Office 365. You're using, various other tools of Microsoft. Same with Zoho. Zoho has got cloud accounting. They have got all this support available to us. And they had been tied with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. For every chartered accountants, they are giving 3 years of license free of cost. So yes, anything that involves delivering hosted services over the internet is cloud computing. And if you see over here, that's interesting, is a G Suite, which is the topic of today. And we are going to show you in the time, whatever is available to us, those 10 applications, which is going to be very, very important for you to manage yourself and to manage your office anytime from anywhere. If you see, this is a wagon wheel we are talking about. So yes, why we need a G Suite and why we need cloud computing is that it gives us accessibility. That is the main important thing which we have discussed, that why we need accessibility. We want to, not just the files, we want ourselves to be available anytime from anywhere. So G Suite allow us to access file anytime from anywhere. It is cost effective. I guess around 1,300 to 1,500 per year is the cost. And that gives us, more than 100 different applications available to us with that simple cost, not even 100, 125 rupees per month, or maybe 3 to 4 rupees a day. It's cost effective. It's real-time sharing. It integrates with various Google applications. We are going to discuss how it integrates. It works on team collaboration. Where, today is a day where, if you have one client sitting in Pune and you have one of your core team members sitting in Delhi and you are sitting in Chennai, you all three can work together on a single project. That's collaboration. Data security. Everything is on cloud, so nothing gets deleted. It just changes the status and it tracks the IP address. It tracks, the change log, which means if there are multiple people working on a single file, it actually tracks, each and every keystroke or key changes done by individual users from different IDs. So it has complete control of who has done what towards that project or towards that files. And it's easy to use and user friendly. So this is the whole new world. If you have not taken the complete advantages of G Suite, this is the time we start thinking about it, start working on it. So I guess when I ask this question, many of you say, sir, we know Google. We have been working on Google search. We had been using Google, Gmail. We are using YouTube. Definitely. When I talk about YouTube, we generally use YouTube to listen to songs or maybe some videos. But YouTube today is, a huge learning, dashboard. It's a huge learning management system where you find so much of skilled videos available over there. Google Maps, we all are engaged with when we are traveling, we are on a car, we are wherever we go, we try to use Google Maps, Google Photos, Google Play Store, a lot of musics, and Google Drive, where we store a lot of files together. So these are tools which we generally use regularly. But now we are going to talk about something more. We are talking about Google Sheet. We are talking about Google Docs. We are talking about Google Forms. And we are going to discuss all of this one by one in a small little demo, which we are going to do today. Uh, Google Forms, Google Sites. Then we have Gmail, we have Google Calendar, we have Google Hangouts, we have Google Contacts. I don't know how many of you have used this. And over and above this, we are going to talk about Google Data Studio. We are going to talk about Google Intrasite and why those things are important. So let's start, automating ourselves and our organization. So let me first take the first example today of basically explaining you the power of YouTube. Now, we all have seen YouTube, right? But let me tell you the power of digital reputation. I don't know how many of you, have actually worked. Like if you put your name on Google, if I just go into google.com, I hope everyone is seeing the screen, right? Smita, Vidhi or Ginny, if anybody can confirm me. If I type in Sanjeev,
Yes, sir.
thank you. If I type in Sanjeev Sanghi over here, you will see the whole page is talking about me. Now you try talking, try putting your name in google.com. And if you see that whole page is all about you, you exist, you digitally exist. But if you don't find your presence on the first page of Google, that's the time to think that do I really digitally exist and how can I even do that? That's where YouTube also plays a major, major role. Like if I go back to YouTube, and why this is important. Today, when you go and watch a movie or when you go and buy a refrigerator, you are looking for reviews. You are looking for online reviews and you want to say that, let me check the reviews. Let me check the trailer before I even go back for this. Similarly, today people are looking for you, for your specialization, for your specialized skills. वो बोलते हैं ना कि एक नाम, there is one name. If I say you Sachin Tendulkar, immediately the thought of cricket comes in our mind. If I tell you about Amitabh Bachchan or Amir Khan, immediately an actor comes in your mind. If I say you about Bimal Jain, what will you do? You will say, well, he's a GST expert. He's a chartered accountant and also a GST expert. And I can keep on counting names and names and names. And if you see over here, Bimal Jain has got more than 68,000 subscribers on YouTube. And what he has done, he has uploaded more than hundreds of videos talking about GST. Now, when he's talking about the GST, he's creating a brand reputation where people across the country knows that he is very specialized on GST. And that's how he has started building his firm. He started growing his firm. And that's what is called digital reputation, way of growing the organization digitally. So if you have a specialization, like if you talk about me, even and I can give you hundreds of examples, more than 1,100 subscribers talking all about technology and how we could do that. If you talk about Rachna Ranade, so YouTube helps you specialize. YouTube helps you talk about, and it's very easy to create your own YouTube channel. You can create your channel, Yeah, I can customize channel where what you can do is you can go into YouTube, you can create your account, create your own channel. And if you are an expert on transfer pricing, if you're an expert on mergers, if you're an expert on GST, on Excel, on Power BI, on macros, on forensic, any subject you choose, you can start building, creating reels, creating videos, so that after 6 months, once you create a whole library of all the important things which you do, sticking to your specialization, the world gets to know this guy, knows this better than anyone else. You can go through it, he's an expert on this. And when you go back for a job, or when you're going back to run your own company, you are being identified with that skill. That is the power of YouTube. That's the power of social media, which you can start doing today. Because generating those number of subscribers, generating those number of likes, those features takes time. So this is the right time when you can start doing that. I hope everyone is very clear with this. Let me go back to the next topic. Uh, Let me see. Yes. So today we are going to cover, like me and Saita together are going to cover 10 different application which is important. And the first one is YouTube. So let me, YouTube is already covered. We are going to talk about other important areas in Google. And one of the important area again is this Google form. Many of you must be using it, but let me first start with Google Docs. Then we'll cover Google Sheet. Then we'll cover Google Forms. And finally, I'll end up with Google Data Studio. And then Saita will take another 5 important application. And in the period, if anybody has any question, we'll be very happy to answer those questions. So let me start with Google Docs. Now, if once you subscribe into google.com, you get all these tools available to you. And Google Docs is one of the tools which is available to you with this. Let me sign in, and it's automatic. Once you are signed in Gmail, you get signed in with all this important stuff. So you get this screen. You click on this, blank document. And let me show you one thing very interesting, which you can immediately relate. So you get this screen. Why this is so important and different from a regular Word file? This is online. This is real time. Multiple people can work into this. You can add more and more user to this, and you can do a voice text as well. So if I take you to voice typing, as soon as I click on this, now what will happen is whatever I speak right now is going to get typed. And you can go as easy, as fast as possible. But this is going to track each and everything which you speak. And the accuracy is almost, 90 to 95%. So it saves a lot of time. So technology is basically trying to help you get more efficient, and you are not wasting your time on regular works, but on important work which you really want to do. So this is a very small demo which I wanted to show to you. Now what will happen is you can format it. You can, I don't want to show you all these different formatting things which you can do. You can share this document. You can, once you share this document, you can, let's say if I say, typing text, save, and you can create, different levels of, you can copy this link and send as an email or send as a WhatsApp to any of your users. If you want this to anyone with this link, now you can create different rights. Now, what are these rights all about? When you talk about editor rights, which means you're allowing any other user to also join and edit this document. When you are putting them as a commenter, you're allowing the user to only put in comments for that document. Don't want them to change the document. So these are three different roles for any document which you are creating, and then multiple people can join in and work. If you, let's say, create 5 different users who can be anywhere in the world, and you want to tell them to come at a single time on a single platform, they all, you can see it right over here. And they all are basically busy typing together on a single document. So there are host of different facilities and features which you can see over here. And you can save this file, you can give a name to it, you can change the name, you can change the location where you want. So this file, you want to put it in your Google Drive in a particular folder, you can create a new folder. So you are no more in your desktop. So today, when we work for clients in US, UK, and Australia, we don't work on desktop. We don't have a single file on a local machine. We all log in, we go into an online server, and we work over there. That's the phenomena, and that's the future we are talking about. We generally don't send any email as an attachment. We generally, what we do is we create that link and we send the link. Now, advantage of sending a link with the required permission is, it's not about you sending a file and that person is basically giving a note that this is right, this is not right. He or she can easily go back into the document with the permission which they have already got, which means if they have the editor permission, they go back and change the necessary things, whatever is required. And trust me, if they change, what will happen? You can see both the things together, which means you can see the original and you can see the changed text the way you want. So you can see both the versions into this. And if you don't want to give them the permission for editor's right, what will happen? They can always, select and give comments on the relevant area where they want to give their comments on. So all these options over here are just like your Microsoft Word. If you see over here, all these are Microsoft Word thing. If there's anything special, I'll definitely let you know. Formatting in tools, you can compare documents. I told you about voice typing. You can translate. You can use citations. So all these things you can do. You can use dictionary. You can have word count, which is there in Word file. All of this can be done using Google Docs. And it's a very, very interesting tool where you want a single file worked by multiple people. So that's all so far from Google Docs. But what is important is that how you want to integrate. Now, if you see over here, this is a template over here for resume. All the formats are right over here. You can just go in and fill in over here. And you can change it the way you want. Now, this resume, the beauty of why you want to have a resume on a Google Doc is you can change it from anywhere and you can share it with your prospective employers anytime from anywhere. Now, the same thing, what we are going to do is how we want to integrate Google Docs with Google Sheet to give a solution. And we are going to see that. Once we learn more on Google Sheet, then we are going to learn how we can integrate Word and Excel together to give this solution. If you see over here, this is a Google. So it's the same simple way. You go into google.com and you type in Google Sheet. This is again included in your Google. Now, this is as good as, doing the, work on Excel. It is very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Let me start with this blank spreadsheet. You see over here, again, if you are working on GST calculation, you're working on a particular income tax, or you're working on some financials, you're working on a budget, you similarly have the options to add multiple people. You can write comments. You can have queries related to each and every sheet which is there. And you can keep on typing. If there are multiple people, you can keep on typing. You can share this file again in the same simple way where you name this file. You can, create an editor rights, a comment right, and you can create a document over it. Everything remains the same feature which is applied to all the documents which are over there. It has pivot table feature, it has charting features. But if I tell you, it is not that strong enough as Microsoft Excel, but the power is it is real time, which means why we need Google Sheet and why we need Google Docs together is why, because we want to integrate both of them to create a solution. So let me try to show you. Before that, let me give you a quick file which you can see. If I go back and if I want to see an MIS report, now this is an MIS report we are going to work today. Let me pull this up. So let's say you have this order date, you have year, you have customer number, you go into sheet 4, you have a data sheet, a data set with the order date, with the year, your customer name, segment, region, all of this. And you can have multiple people work on this single file together. So this can be one of the way of creating a profit percentage. So all these things, I don't want to train you on a regular Excel feature. You can always create a pivot table of this. You can, create formulas behind it, and all of that you can do. But what I'm going to show you today is how you can integrate these things together to give a solution. So let me go back to the Word file, the Google Docs. Yeah. So you have a document. Now, what I'm trying to do over here is that I'm basically trying to create a solution wherein, you have an invoice format and you want to send this invoice to hundreds of clients at a click of a button. You want to send hundreds of invoice with the individual name, with the individual invoice number, the amount and the due date to hundreds of clients at a click of a button. That's the solution we are talking about. So the first step you need to take is you need to go back into your Word Google Doc and try and create a format which you want the template you want to send it to all your clients at one go. And then you go into your extension, and then there's an option called mail merge. You have seen that in Word also. And when you click over there, you have to click on start. And then this mail merge options comes in right in front of you. You see, it is asking for you for the first step of opening a spreadsheet or creating a sheet. So let me open the spreadsheet. I have already selected the file invoice over here. I can always go back and see that this file is selected or not. Or I can select some different file as well. So it doesn't have it over here, but it has it in my Google Drive. You see over here, case studies for automation, invoice automation, and I have this file over here. Now, what is this file all about? This file is basically having the data of all the hundreds of clients with their name, with their email address, with their amount outstanding. And that data is coming directly into the Google Sheet. Now, I want to send reminders. I want to send invoices to all the client at one go. So what I will do is that I create a Google database, Google Sheet, the entire data in my Google Sheet, and I create a template in my Google Doc. And all I want is I want to link this Excel, this Google Sheet with this Google Doc format. And once I do that, this file right over here, it was already there, but I just wanted to show you this step. It covers all the sheets. So I wanted to work on sheet 1, and now I wanted to merge document. So I'll delete over here, and I want to build the client to show me all the fields of that particular Excel. So I want to select client, and I click on add. The client will come over here right away. And then what will happen is, you will similarly, you can select all of this. So this is not allowing me right now, but let me show you. You will merge it to, you'll go to show email settings. And what you will do is that you can select the subject invoice for the year ended February 2022. You can include attachment, you can schedule, you can send document as PDF attachment, and you can merge to emails. As soon as you hit merge, what will happen is that all this document will take the data from Excel, convert that into a PDF, and send as an email to all the client. Which client? Let me show it to you. If I go back to my drive, and if I say, all right, let me see the Google Drive over here. Open. Let me show you that invoice file which I was talking about. I'll go to my drive. I go to case studies for automation, which we are talking about. These are all different case studies which we have been working on, and I'll see this file. So what is this file all about? This file is talking about these 4 clients with the date, with the address, with the email address, with the due date, with invoice number, amount, and when it is scheduled. If I really want to schedule, that this invoice should go on the 1st of the month, 1st of every month, it will go automatically on that particular date. So this is the invoice which we have linked. I go back to my Google Doc, which is over here, and I hit on merge. It will prepare to send emails. It will send emails. And if I go back to my Gmail account, and if I type in invoice, you'll see all these things coming up right over here as Cloud Info Solutions, bill number, invoice number, due date. And this is going to go as a customized invoice to each and every client which is coming up over there. So what we have done in this entire project is we had created a template in Google Docs. We have created data in Google Sheet, and we are kind of merging both this data together, to basically show how we are converting that into different attachments with the email body, and that is going individually to each and every client. As a customized email. That's how Google Docs and Google Sheet work together. I have left with 2 more options. In another 15-20 minutes, I'm going to cover that. One is Google Forms. Now, Google Forms, most of you must be using it, but this is coming up in a huge way, because this is allowing us to take inputs for different requirements. We can have a customer feedback. We can have party invite. If you see over here, we have created so many forms right over here. Automation quiz. I can just quickly show you. No, we can create so many different process which we want. And let me show you how we can create a Google form. But yeah, this Google Forms is again having that same feature of sharing of, are you digitally ready? So if I want different formats or different things, job application, request time off. So let's say if I want to see this, I want to pick up the name, I want to pick up the date, reason, additional reason, and let me give you back how we can start a new form. So all you need to do is click on this start a new form, give a name to this form. Let's say if today is a date wherein we want a feedback for today's training. We can put it over here. Feedback for today's training. We can have the description of the form. We can again make it bold, italics, whatever we want. And then we can come up with different questions which we want over here. So we'll say, did you like? We can put up a different question over here that was the topic interesting? Was the topic just trying to give you the broader idea of how things happen? Was the topic interesting? And it is asking for suggestions. So I say yes, no, maybe, because it's giving the suggestion. I've created a multiple choice, but I can always have check boxes. I can have drop down. I can have a feature for file upload, for a multiple choice grid, date or time. So let me, if I want to add more, so this is one question. I can add multiple questions. I create one more question and I'll say, this I want as a date format. So I'll select date. And I'll say, when do you want next session to be? And in this, I want you to put in the date. So you can always input date over here. And once and I can make a stuff as required or not required. If I don't like, and this can go on and on. What I can also do is that I can go back into responses and I can connect that with the Google Sheet. So what is happening is that you create a survey, and in that survey, you are sending it to, 10,000 people. And whatever responses you are getting, it is automatically getting collected into a Google Sheet, into an Excel format. And that Google Sheet can be again mail merged with a document to create a report, or maybe converted into a dashboard, which we are going to show in the next, the last thing which I'm going to do. It can be converted into a digital dashboard for people to see for each and every data coming in, how's the reactions. So this is how we are integrating Google Forms, Google Excel, Google Sheet, Google Docs, and Google Data Studio together. So you can have your settings, you can make it as a quiz, you can make it as a presentation. And let me now show you one filled up Google form like customer feedback. So you can put up a nice little image over here. You can give it a name. This is a multiple choice stuff. You can have a long answer text, suggestions, improvement, name, etc. You can have as long a form as you want. So I'm just trying to show you different types of form you can create. So let's say you want to have a party invite. Can you attend? How many of you are attending? What will you be bringing? Do you have any allergies? So similarly, you can have as many forms, which means there are set of questions which you want, a group of people or thousands of people to answer those questions. You can create a form, link it to a Google Sheet, send it to them as a link. And it's a very easy process of sending that as a link. As I said, let me show you clearly. If I create this party invite and I want to send this, I can create a I can, email it, or I can generate a link also. So I can have multiple emails. I can create a link. Now this link, I can shorten up. Now, if this link is copied and sent as an attachment or as a link to WhatsApp, to email, anybody clicking this link will straight away get into that form which they can fill it up. And everything what they fill in will go back into the Google Sheet. So this is kind of a process wherein, uh, everyone can be involved and everyone can, fill in information. Just 1 minute. Yes. If you have any questions so far, I will be very happy to answer, because now I'm going to go into the most interesting session and the last session. So what we have covered till now, let me summarize that before we go into Google Data Studio. Number one, we talked about change. We talk about how we need to adapt, transform, and innovate our entire objectives to deal or work with today and tomorrow. And then we learned about cloud computing. We learned about the power of cloud computing, where you can, be accessible and you can work anytime from anywhere. We have seen why YouTube is important, how you can, be digitally available, and how you can create your digital existence using the power of YouTube. There are many other features which you can always do. You can use social media, you can use LinkedIn, you can write articles, you can write blogs, you can, start creating your own world to let people know that you are a person who is really a specialist and not a generalist. Then we learned about, how we can create documents, how we can in Google Docs, how we can create an Excel using Google Sheet. And then at the end, we talked about Google Forms, which actually allows you to integrate with Google Sheet. And Google Sheet can be integrated with Google Docs to create a solution for the client. Now, the last thing which of my session today, after which Saita is going to join in, is basically Google Data Studio. Now, what I don't know how many of you have actually seen or worked on Google Data Studio. This is what is a very, very, start of you may be having a dream to become a data scientist. This is basically allowing you to, you know, create a story, create a picture of what you want to say. So let me give you a few, uh, background before we really get into this subject. We all read newspaper, right? But when we read newspaper, what is that area which catches most of our attention? It is basically something which is colorful, something which has charts, which has data, which has charting tools, which has some line chart, some bar chart, some kind of pie chart coming in. Some kind of colorful, interesting information always excites us, and we actually try to look more of those kind of data-driven graphs or some advertisements. And we generally don't look into small text or small things. So today, once we are going back to the client and giving them 100-page report or 50-page report, they're not excited about it. Today, client is expecting a 1-minute manager. Now, what a 1-minute manager is basically when you are trying to explain the entire scenario of business in 1 minute. When you're trying to show in one single frame the total revenue, the total profitability, the number of counts, how many employees are working in, what's their productivity rate, what's their revenue percentage. If you give all those important key information in one single page, that is what client wants to say, instead of 100 pages with all the data piling up. So how we can do that, how we can make use of data to help take decision, to make it more informative, and to and to try and engage client in a more interesting manner is what data studio is all about. So let's get into this data studio and let me take. So imagine a scenario like this. Let me first show you, if you want to create a dashboard for a client called ABC Limited, at a click of a button, you get to see the sales, the profit, the region. And if you say, all right, I only want to see the sales for South and East, the entire data changes. And if you want to say, I want to only see for 2015, data, the segment, the region, and the mix changes with the change of filter. So it becomes more interactive. It is real time, which means this entire dashboard is connected to a Google Sheet. And that Google Sheet is connected to a Google form, which means if you conduct a survey, so any single entry coming into that Google form goes into the Google Sheet, and from that Google Sheet, the entire data gets changed automatically. Something like what you see in a stock market. The linear chart, the entire stock index changing with every single data change. If you see this currency exchange fluctuation, this currency change, with every change, all the data is getting changed. This is what Data Studio is all about. So let me begin this journey by by creating a fresh new Data Studio. So I'll go into this blank report. The first screen which I'm getting over here is, the data from where the data is taken. Now look at this world where we are going in. It is trying to take so much of data from Facebook. If I take data from Facebook, from LinkedIn, it will allow me to create a data studio wherein I can see how many people are, giving me likes, how many people are giving me comments. Now, so the world is going completely in a different level. But yeah, let me make it simple because we all are accountants. I want to only use Google Sheet. So I'll take Google Sheet as a database of mine, and then I will try and take this MIS report. Let's say I take this sheet 4. There are multiple sheets into this. I connected this particular dashboard to one of the sheet, and I'll click on add. It is showing me you're about to add this data to this report. So I'm basically connecting the Google Sheet with this Google Data Studio. I click on add to report. Now what happens? All the columns of that particular Excel or that particular Google Sheets comes over here, right over here. And now I can make multiple dashboard, multiple KPI the way I want. So let me do one thing at a time. What I will do is I will first add a chart. Now this has got so many options right over here. So let me first pick a total. I'll try to place it over here. That is give me a record. I don't need a record. What I need over here is I need to know. See, it's so easy for us to do it. I just need the total sales. As soon as I give sales, it is giving me the total sales number right over here. Fair enough. So one data is final. I'll go back and I'll again select one more scorecard and I'll place it over here. I'll try to make it as sleek as possible so that it matches. And this time I want to know the profit real time, or maybe the profit percentage, whatever I want. But let's say I want only the profit. So it shows me the profit and the sales over here. Now I need something more. Let me delete this. I don't need this. And this is how I continue designing the whole thing. I keep on doing it. I'll go back to, I can have multiple data also together as different sheets. So if I want data coming from different sheets together on a single board, I can even do that. Uh, then you take a table now. I'll place it over here. Now this has order date and sales. But basically, I don't need an order date. I want to know sales by, let's say, region or by category. So I put the category by sales. This is one data I want. I hope this is becoming exciting for all of you. So now I have the sales, I have the profit, and I have a category by sales. So I'm basically now if you do this and present this report and generate a link and share it to your employer in a management meeting, they'll be so happy with you. You present this to your chartered accountant that look, I've been working with you for 200 clients who are on GST. Now this is the whole single dashboard to understand our entire business, what we should do and how we should do. What is the profit? Which is the client which is giving us less profit? Which is our high margin clients? You know, you will create a difference in you. Let's say I want one more chart. So I will say, all right, let me take this table with heat map. So what I will do is I'll put one more chart over here. And this time I will take not the order date, I will segment. Okay. And then I will try to take it by sales, like heat by maybe profit. It is showing me the heat map with profit. You see over here, this is how it is getting designed. Now I want to build up one. I want to give a pie chart, maybe a bar graph. I'll put a bar graph over here. And let's say this time I want a bar graph by, by region, east, west, north, south. And I don't want the profit. I want the sales to come. So I can see in a very simple way that, all right, I have and I can make it lower, I can make it bigger, I can do whatever I want, I can change colors. I can see sales for east, west, west is central and south, and I can have one more pie chart also. I can keep on doing this. But let's say if I want a pie chart over here, I can put up a pie chart and I don't want it by region this time. Let's say I want it by subcategory. By subcategory, and this is my sales. So this is a small little dashboard which I just did it for you. And now I want to add controls. So let's say I want a drop down list. I want to place it over here. Now I want a drop down list by region, and then so I put a region over here, and then I want another drop down list. Rita, can you check for Sarita, please? Because I'll be done in another 5 to 10 minutes.
Yes, sir, I will.
So I'll have another drop down list and I'll place it over here. And this I want, for let's say I want it for a year. Okay. So this my dashboard is ready. And if I want to see this, so this becomes a dashboard. And if I want to know, all right, and watch this entire thing changing the way I want. If I only want to know for the east section, the entire graph, sales, profit, categories, segment, everything changes the way I want. If I want it for a particular year, I can say, all right, I want it only for 2017. It shows me the number. So year 2017 only for, Central and East. This is how I can really make my data look so interesting. And then if I want to add more color to it, you see, I can download this report, I can embed it, I can create a link, I can invite people to this. So I can basically, work on this the way I want. Let me, yeah, there's an option called theme and layout. So what I can do is that I can change this entire thing to look like this or look like this. I can design it the way I want. So let's say if I want something like this, and then if I want to view this, this will look exactly like this. This is what today's client is looking. So I can just make it look more clean. Yes. This one also I can make it look a little more cleaner. And I can add as many things I want on this to just make it look like, if I just select everything over here. And here also I check everything. It shows me the complete number. Yeah. So this is how we can play with this the way we want. So that's all from my side. I'll be very, very happy to answer questions wherever you have, because just post this. Sarita is going to join and she's going to take it forward from here. So if there's anyone, so what we have done is we had Sarita, just to update you, we had completed YouTube, we had completed Google Docs, Google Forms, Google Sheet, and Data Studio. So all of this has been done. Now, there are another 5 apps which you can start with. But in the meantime, Smita or Jenny, if anybody has any questions, if you want me to address those, I'll be very happy to do that.
Sir, questions we can take up later. Sarita ma'am has already joined, and I would like to introduce her right now.
So thank you all so much.
Thank you, sir. So you'll be there now. Sir, your voice is not audible.
I'll be around, but I'll come back after half an hour, 45 minutes.
No problem, sir. Yeah. So I would like to welcome Sarita ma'am. CA Sarita Agarwal is a chartered accountant who is a fellow member of the ICAI and has done honors degree in finance and accounting from University of Calcutta. She is expert in both Indian and US accounting and has been leading the US operations of Cloud Info Solutions, a company that provides bookkeeping and accounting services to 300 plus clients in the US over the last 15 years. She is extremely tech savvy, and I welcome our Sarita ma'am wholeheartedly to take up the session further.
Sarita, you're muted.
Sorry. Thank you, Smita ma'am, and thank you, Sanjeev sir. So I hope I will be able to keep the momentum which you have started with. I'll try my level best to give some insights on the other 5 apps of Google and see what best we can provide. So I hope I'm audible and there are not too much of noises around.
Ma'am, you are audible, but there are a bit of noises. If can these be avoided?
Let me try.
Yeah.
Any issues?
Nope. I think are you still listening the like surrounding voice or is it minimized?
Ma'am, it's better. It's better now.
Better?
Yeah.
Your
Yes,
voice
ma'am.
is clear, ma'am.
Great. Yeah, actually because of Durga Puja,
Better, ma'am.
all where we can see those.
Ma'am, that we can understand. And this is the most enjoyable time right now.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes.
So I'll start my session.
Sure, ma'am.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let me first start with a very important and useful tool of Google, which I'm not very sure how many students have been using, but if you are using Gmail as a default email of yours, one important tool which all of us can use it is Google Keep. Now, what is Google Keep? Google Keep is basically a notepad for us, an online notepad. So whenever we use whenever we are discussing anything with we are having an online meeting or we are into any meeting, we might be writing notes, but then we need that note when we are at home or when we are traveling or whenever like we are not at work, but the person with whom we have met, they are trying to discuss something further on it. So we cannot have that notebook every time with us, but yes, we always have our phone with us which gets connected with Gmail, and this Google Keep notes can also be integrated with your mobile phone, so that that notes is always with you whenever you want to refer and use it. So if you are logged in into your Gmail and you click on this like 9 small icons, you see over here various apps available of Google. Out of that, one of the app is Google Keep. That is what we are talking about right now. So what we see over here is on the left hand side, we have few options of Google Keep. One is notes, one is reminders, edit labels, archive, and trash. So by clicking on note, the first thing which we want to do is we want to create a note. So when we want to write a note is let me write a note like Google Workspace session. So if I write this note, if I want, I can create it as a reminder that I want Google to remind me that I have a session at 12 on Google Workspace, or I can just keep it as a note if I want to add some other person who should also know. Like suppose I wanted to send this reminder even to Sanjeev sir that we have a Google Workspace session at on Sunday. So I can add him as well. Even he knows that even he needs to attend that session. So it can be a collaboration tool as well. So whomever you are meeting with, that note can be shared with that person immediately. When you are writing the note, you can just add the person's email ID. So whenever you are adding anything, that person knows. So in future, when you want to update it, and if you put any kind of comments along with that note, the person whom you have added, they can also know what you are trying to add or what has been completed, what is the status of the project. All those things can be done. It's not only for client or for your personal references, but it is also very helpful when you are coordinating. Like suppose you are going for an audit, or you are doing any tax work. So you might be working in a team of 2 or 3 people. So among you also, you can keep this Google Keep so that each one of you are very well aware of what is the status as of now. Now, this can come as a reminder to us. This can stay as a note to us. Whatever way we want, we can do. In case we want to attach any file, we can attach files over here as well. So try to use Google Keep whenever you need it, and you will see that it is always helpful and handy for us to have a note. I have started using it very soon because many times what happens is I just write notes in my notepad and then it is lost, where whenever I need it, it is not in front of me. So using this Google Keep has to a great extent helped me to keep up to date with what I had in the meeting, what was my discussion point, what is important point, what I need to do next. All these things have been of really great help to us. I can also see list view. So if I have any notes available over here, it will be seen one by one. Once I'm done, I can archive a note if I required. If I'm totally done with that work, I can also delete a note. If a note is created, but then in later on, we don't need it, we can trash that note as well. So Google Keep, nothing else. It's a notepad for you online provided by Google. So that was one of the important tool which we wanted to discuss today. Now, coming to the next tool, which is again very important for all of us, is Google Calendar. We all know what is calendar, what does it do for us, but Google Calendar does much more than what we can think of a calendar doing for us. So yes, like a normal calendar in our phone, we can set reminders, birthdays, or such other things with our Google Calendar, but like with any other calendar. But in Google Calendar, what we can do is any other person, if they want, they can share their calendar with us. In that case, so suppose you have a team of 5 people, all the 5 people can share their calendar with each other so that they know that when you are busy, when you have which meeting, and accordingly they can set meetings further. So you all are informed about each other's plans. So suppose your senior shares their calendar with you, so you know that when is your team member available, when is your senior colleague available, and accordingly you can set meeting with the client with them. So you don't need to call them and ask them always that, so what is your schedule, when can I set the meeting with you, and so on. You know his plans for the whole day. So accordingly, you can set moving forward. Now, one more important thing of Google Calendar is we can create events using Google Calendar. And while creating an event, if we want to give them link of any virtual meeting like Google Meet, we don't need to go to Google Meet separately. Now, Google Meet is another app of Google. So what we do with Google Meet is same what we are doing presently with Zoom, or we do use Teams. Same way, Google Meet also allows you to do video conferencing with your team members, with your clients, whomever you want. So if we are setting an event using Google Calendar, there and then over here, we can add the Google Meet link and send them over. You don't need to first go to Google Meet, create a meeting ID, copy paste, and then send it as an email, separate email. No, all things can be done in one small pop-up window. So I add a title over here, Google Workspace session. I can set it as any one of the thing, whether it is an event, whether it is a task for me, and whether it is a reminder, like I want to set it as a reminder. Whatever way I want, I can create it. I can set the date and time over here. I can also select the time zone based on, suppose if I'm sending to any foreign client and I want them to see as per their time zone, I can change the time zone. If I want, if there is a regular meeting which I do with my team or with my senior every Monday or every Saturday, whatever day we want, we can also set it up as a repetitive event so that we don't need to again and again send the meeting invite. Once we send it and we set it as a schedule to occur on weekly basis or bi-weekly basis, whatever we want, we can accordingly set this as a Google Workspace. We can see our time, like when we are available. Based on that, we can set it, and if required, we can block that time so that if anyone else with whom I've shared the calendar want to schedule any meeting, they will see us busy and we won't be available for any other meeting at the same time. So I just put the subject, I add the guest, whomever I want to add, that is the email ID. And then I can give the Google Meet link. See over here, the meeting link will itself go to the person whom I've added to the Google Calendar. So here is the link. So if we see over here, up to 100 guest connections, that means at a time with Google Meet, we can send the link to 100 different persons and they all can join the same meeting. So we can copy this link separately as well, or we can leave it over here so that it can be there. So if it is virtual, we add it as virtual as the location. We add the description of the meeting, like if you want to add any agenda or whatever we want to do, it has some formatting tools over here which can be useful to us. So we can add the formatting tools. And if required beforehand, if we want to attach a file for all the persons attending the meeting to check the file before the meeting, we can do the same. So we can attach files over here. And event color, if we have different event with different color code, like if it is within the organization, might be we have an event color for different kinds of meeting, whether it is a management meeting, whether it is a team meeting, whether it is a client meeting, whether it is an admin meeting. Based on that, we can set a meeting kind of color code. And after that, if we want to send a notification, we can add that 10 minutes before meeting, it will send us a notification. Once we are done, we can save and send the meeting invite. Send. So my event has been sent and my calendar has been blocked over here. By default in Google Calendar, what do you see is they have, like if you just, you have this available, if you just check this off, all the holidays of India by default gets added to your calendar and you know which festival is coming when. We can search people over here who all are using Google Calendar. And if we want to add any one of them, we can send the request so that if they accept, their calendar is visible to us. The same way as I added an event, we can add a task. So if you're adding a task, it is for us. So yes, it is somewhat what Keep does for us, but Keep is for a running note. And Google Calendar is if we want to remind ourselves our task, we can add that. So that if it is any important task, it is added to my calendar and I remember that I need to work on it. Moreover, that time is also blocked for me. That means I am not available at that time. I have blocked my time to do a particular task. If I want to set any reminder for anyone's birthday or any such occasions, any such meeting, I can also set a reminder for myself using this. Just a simple title, date, time, whether I want to repeat it or not. If I'm setting anyone's birthday, I would like to repeat it every year. So I set it accordingly. And based on that, I can set the reminder as well. So this was about Google Calendar, which is, yes, I think many of us must be using, but try to use it as extensively as we can. It helps you to organize yourself to a great extent. Remember one thing, if you are able to organize your day using Google Keep, Google Calendar, and such kind of other tools, you find your day to be more productive. You see, you achieve more in less time because you're not very confused. What should I start with? I have 10 things to do. What should I do first, second, third? But you are planning your day well ahead. And now you just go by your planning. So that helps you to complete and achieve much more than what you have thought in a day. This is the way, if you try to work, you will see the difference. Whether it is your studies, whether it is your work, wherever you think, you can make use of both Google Calendar and Google Keep. So we just discussed the working part for Google Keep and Google Calendar. But when you are studying, you can also use Google Calendar and Google Keep together. When you are reading any books and you want to keep some note so that you can read it, or you have to ask it to your friend, or you have any questions for your teacher, you can keep that as a note. And whenever you are meeting them or you are talking to them, you have that notes handy to ask them. Same way in Google Calendar, if you are near to your exams and you know that now you need to have a fire study, that means you need to just study the whole day, but you are very confused which subject to study when. You need to prepare a schedule. If you can just prepare a schedule 1 month before in the calendar, you see that you are well organized and you are studying much better than what you have thought for your exams. So both the things can be made best use both on a personal front as well as in your office. So try using it. It will be surely helpful for you. Now coming to another tool which many of us are using is Gmail. We all know that yes, we use Gmail as an email box. It is available because unless we want to pay and make much better use of the workspace, we can have a paid version of the entire Google Workspace. But if you're even using the Gmail free version, there are so many things which we can do with Gmail, which might be many of us does not know or might have not explored as of now. Now, let's start with composing an email. When we go to compose email, have we ever noticed that in the send button, there is a drop down which we see over here? Just a minute, let me take it up. Yep. So we have a drop down over here. If you click on the drop down, it has one more option called schedule send. What do you mean by schedule send? That means, let me first add one of the email ID. Yep. Now I can schedule the send. That means that suppose you have drafted an email and you want to give the feeling to your boss that I was working late night and I have completed this work right now and sending the email, you can schedule it for late night, 1 p.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., whatever time you think like. Like jokes apart, suppose you are going for some holidays and you know that you don't want to send that email now, you want to send that email on the Monday morning, but you will be on leave. So you can schedule the email which you have created today to be sent tomorrow during the working hours so that the person can see your email on the right time when you want them to see the email. So this is a very important feature of Gmail, which many of us does not use, but yes, it is many times very useful for us that we can not, we do not want to send email immediately rather than schedule it. So try using it. Besides that, yes, you can add your signature to the email, or if you come over here, you just, there was an option, just a minute. Yeah, you can toggle the confidential mode for your email. What do you mean by that? So many times what happens is you are sending a very confidential email. You do not want that person to print the email, copy or forward it to anyone else or download this email. So once, if you switch on this confidential email mode while sending the email, it helps you to do all those things that the person to whom you're sending the email, they won't be able to copy the email, print it, download it, or do any such thing which you do not want them to do. Even more to it, what you can do is you can set an expiry date. That means the way you set the expiry date, whether it is 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 5 years, whatever way you want, that email will be gone from the email box on the expired date, what you are setting it over here. If you want the person to have like to receive an SMS by which they can open this email, you can set the SMS passcode as well. So all these things are actually very useful if we want to send an email or a contract to our client, or a kind of if we have prepared a document which we do not want the someone else to copy it or to just replicate it or forward it to anyone else, we can use the confidential mode of Gmail. You might be thinking that when do I need it? I don't need it. But if you know that something like this exists and when you suddenly need it, you know that Gmail is there for you to apply it. Yes, there are few of things which we will do in the settings. This was two important things as of now, which I wanted to say in the compose email. Now let's go to another part. On the top right, wherein you have this button wherein you can see all the Google apps, just before that, you have settings icon. If you click on setting icons, let's first see simple things over here and then we will go into detail. So by default, you see a compact view of by default, you see this view of Gmail wherein if you have any attachment, they show you the attachment and attachment name and few other details. But if you want to see a compact view of your email, wherein you don't want them to show the attachment name and whether the file type or something like that, you just want to see the emails and nothing else, what we can do is we can click on compact view. As soon as we click on the compact view, we can see more details of the email, and it does not appear to be in a bigger wrap kind of thing. It is just an email which we are seeing over here. All the attachments and everything is still there, but it is not showing in just below the email, because we are trying to see the compact view. If we want to see a comfortable view, we click on this, and now it becomes much bigger for us to read easily. So it's giving us a much comfortable view of the email. Now scrolling down, we have more options. Inbox type, what kind of inbox type we want to see. This is the default Gmail inbox type which we see, wherein on the left hand side we have all the like inbox, start, snooze, send, all these options over here, draft, and in between we have the emails which is shown over here. But then if we want to see the important email first, which we have marked as important, we can click on that, and all the important emails, if you have marked anything, comes on the top. If we want to see only the unread emails first, like on the top, so above we click on unread first, so unread email comes on the up panel. Now if we want to see any starred email, we click on this. Anything which we have marked as starred, because we know that we want to later on refer to it, we see over there. If you have noticed over here, anything which is starred is coming over here and rest is showing as everything else. So if I click on unread first, same thing would happen. It would show as unread and then it will show everything else. But since many emails are unread, that is why it is still there in the first page showing as unread. Now, in the same way, we have multiple options over here, priority inbox, multiple inbox. So you can try all these various options and see which one is very useful for you. Accordingly, you can set it up and keep it in the same view. And whenever you want, we can go again back to the settings and change to your default view. Now below that, you have another option called reading pane. So presently, we are not trying to see any reading pane. It is no split. But if we want to see the reading pane on the right hand side, we click on it. So what happens is, here you have your email, here you have all your type of boxes, whether it is your inbox, send box, drafts, and here you have the reading pane. As soon as you click on an email, you can read it over here directly. That means you are not, you do not need to double click to read an email. It is available on the right panel. If I want the email below the inbox, I can click on that as well. So you still have the emails above, and below there's another panel which is created for you to read the email. So whatever is comfortable to you, it's all about the habit and the way you want to read the email. You can choose the pane accordingly. So it's all about our personal choices and needs, what we want to do. Now, this was some kind of just view options, different kind of view options, which is available with Google. Now let's go to see all settings. When you go to see all settings, you have so many different options which we can play around with Gmail. Let's see, one very important function of Gmail is undo send. If you by mistake send an email and you want to cancel it, you just realize, oops, I have sent that email was still not complete, or I did not wanted to send it. You can send, you can set a undo send seconds. That means up till 30 seconds, you have time to undo an email. You can also send reduce the time to 20 seconds, 10 seconds, or 5 seconds if required. Or else the maximum time allowed to undo an email is 30 seconds. Even in 30 seconds, if you do not realize that you had to undo this email, that means train हाथ से छूट गया है. अब तो आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते. So we have options up till 30 seconds. Now let's see. How do you come to know about that? So let me send an email. Yeah. Now let me send this. See over here, it's saying sending, message sent, undo. I have options to undo. This option is available to me until 30 seconds. So if I want to undo, that means the email which I was sending did not go and it opened in the draft mode back to me. So if I want to correct anything, if I know that I have sent this by mistake, I can correct it and then send it again. So now if I type it was testing undo option, and now if I want to send, again I'm getting options of undo. So it's not that if you have undone an email once, it won't give you the same options again when you're sending the same email. So undo is always available to you for 30 seconds or for whatever time you set in your settings. As soon as the 30 seconds is over, you will see that you don't get this option. Let's wait. Looking like 30 seconds is too much. So yes, now we don't see that the email has gone. I can see it in my sent item. Yep, the email has gone. So now I do not have any other option. Again, let's go back to settings and see what other things we can do is. Yep. So if you want, you can change your language of the email and your country code, the phone number, maximum page size. So presently we see 50 emails. But if I want to see less emails, I can check that. If I want to see more emails, up till 100 emails can be seen in a page. Undo we just discussed. Default reply behavior. So suppose you want, like this happens to me many times, that when I'm clicking on reply, I by default click on just reply. But the normal email protocol says that we should try to send reply all to the email to whomever like we have received the email from. We want to send them reply to all, and many times we make that mistake of just clicking on reply. So if we want the default reply behavior to reply all, that means whenever you are clicking on reply, it normally takes to reply all, and then you can reply. But in case you just want to reply to the person, you can select that by default and have the reply options on. In that case, only the person into would get the email. And if you want to reply all, you need to select the options of reply all. That is available even when you are receiving an email and want to reply. Now, let's go to a few other important things. Yeah, these three things are very helpful. If you want to have a grammar check, if you want to have a spelling check, or if you want to have an autocorrect of the sentence, all these things helps us. Smart compose emails, these things are really very, very helpful in Gmail. I think it is available in other like apps as well, but in Gmail, whenever you write an email, we are in too hurry of writing an email. So might be just writing an email, we do not take care of the grammar. Sometimes spelling is wrong. So it gives us that red mark or blue thing lining so that it helps us to understand and we can correct it. It gives us suggestions what would be the correct option for us. So that helps us to draft a better email and with less mistakes at our end. Now, after that, I wanted to show you just a minute. Yeah. So you have this vacation mode over here for in Gmail. That means if you are going out for vacation or you won't be at work, you are going on leave for your exams or whatever, you can set out of office auto reply. So if I select this, I can set the first date, the last date, when I like from which date to which date I'm not available. So presently I want to set that from 2nd October to 5th of October, I'm not available. So I can write, I will be out of office. And if I want to give another message that I will be not available during these days, in case of any urgent need, please do call me on my cell phone, or whatever body I want to write, I can write it over here and only send a response to people in my contacts. That means only the person who is there added in my Gmail contacts, those person will only receive this notification. Not any new person who's sending me email for the first time or who are not added to my contacts, they won't receive this reply. Only the persons who are there in contact would receive it. So if I want to click that, but if I want it to apply to everybody, whoever sends me email in my inbox to receive this, then we can surely check this box. But these days we know that we have so many marketing advertising emails coming to us, so we don't want everyone to get this email from our end. So it's always better to click on only send a response to people in my contact, and accordingly it works for us. So we come over here, we save the changes, and then the email goes to whomever we wanted to send to. Now, if you see over here, you have another option called labels. What we can do is we can label our emails based on our need so that everything is not just piled up in our inbox. It gets like it's self-sorted in the labels. The way we create the labels, the best way is to obviously have all the important emails created as like all the important person who regularly sends you email, and you want that whenever you have finished reading the emails, it goes to that particular label. You can accordingly create those new labels and sort those emails to come to those labels so that your inbox are pretty clean and you can organize it much better by just seeing the newer emails, and the older emails gets labeled to the location. That means if any email which you think is of not important and it comes to your inbox, you don't want to send it to a label, you just delete it there and then. Rest goes to the defined place, and that way all your inbox is properly organized. Now we can also forward our email to another email ID. Suppose I want my Gmail to go to my another email ID, I can do that. Add a forwarding address so that all my emails coming to the Gmail, like you might have another email which is your official email and you often just visit that, and you do not very often visit Gmail. In that case, what you can do is you can add this as a forwarding address so that all your emails over here also goes over there with obviously filters. So you do not want that email to be piled up with unnecessary things. You just mention that certain filters, that if such person send me any email in Gmail or with such subject, with such email ID, forward it to my another email box. So those things can be configured here very well. Now, enable offline email. That means you can receive email when, even if you are offline, that comes to your email box, you can read it. And you can also set your Gmail with your Outlook, which is very easy. When you are trying to set your Gmail in the Outlook, you don't need anything. Like normally people face lots of difficulty to set the Outlook. They need the IMAP or the POP ID, and they need the sent email, the receiving email, all those things. There are many things which needs to be set up if you want to configure your email over the Outlook. I'm not sure how many of you have ever used Outlook, but yes, it is very handy and helpful to use Outlook. So if you are trying to set your Gmail, the best part of Gmail is it connects with your Outlook. It shows email in both the places. It is not that once you set the Outlook with Gmail, it just goes to your Outlook and it does not stay online in your inbox. It does not work in that way. It is actually kind of connecting or syncing with your Gmail. So when you set the Outlook, you just put your Gmail ID, it auto syncs your email with the Gmail which you are opening online or on your mobile or in browser, whatever way you are opening, it syncs with it. And not only the inbox, the sent item also syncs. So if you are sending any email through your Outlook, you can see that sent email in your Gmail browser as well or on your phone. But in the normal case, what happens if you have a personal email ID which is through a personal domain? In that case, what happens is if you are setting Outlook, the sent email does not get synced. It's only the inbox which stays at both the places depending upon the time limit which you have defined. But with Gmail, the best part is that once you set it into Outlook, it syncs everything, whether it is draft, whether it is sent item, whether it is inbox. So it helps you to be at both the places. If you are at office, your Outlook have all the emails. If you are at your phone, your phone has all the emails. So if you have drafted any email through Outlook and you want to send it later over your with your phone, like by completing the missing information and those kind of stuffs, it can be easily done. So you don't need to wait for that yes, I need to go to office back, my email is in my Outlook, I can send it only from there. No, you don't need to do those things. You are all configured and you are trying to optimize your time and obviously using the technology to its best. So all these facilities of Gmail is very helpful. If we want, we can use those and take the best use of it. Now, if you see on the top here, you have search in emails. Just on the right hand side, you see that show search options. You have many other options available with search. It's not that only the simple search is available. We can search email with various activities, whatever we want. We can search it from the person or to whom we have sent with a subject line, including word, doesn't have file size, or if it is only we want to see those email which is greater than certain MB or KB. Suppose we want to say it is greater than 2 MB. I want to see all those emails because I want to see whether those emails are important, the attachments are important. I want to delete few emails and create space for my inbox, so I can do that. So all these options are available over here. I just want to type in the right thing, and based on that, I can search. So if I want to search all the email which has attachments, I can click on this. All emails having attachment would be searched. Don't include chats. So if it is a chat kind of thing, rather than a proper email, it won't include. So I have all these options and I can create a filter out of it. Now, we have so many different options when we click on create filter. So we can skip the inbox, mark as read, star it, apply the label. All these options are available to us. Whatever options we want to do, we want to apply that filter for your search criteria. So I can search it by any of it. And then after searching it, I can delete those emails. Whatever action which I want based on my search, which I've put in over here, I can take the respective actions based on these categories. So the first step was to define what kind of email you are looking for. Once you have defined that, you create a filter, what action you want to take, you do that action, and your work is done. So this ways, many times what happens, we use this window, but we forget about these lines which is showing over here. This is very important for us and very helpful for us to search items very easily. So this was few things on Gmail. I hope it will be helpful. So since we searched with, let me remove the search. I have created some settings to go to default for all of them. Yep. I'm back to my normal inbox. So guys, this was all about Gmail, which is, yes, very helpful. We should try using it as much as we can, not only with the simple formula of sending email, receiving email, and small little things, but yes, all to the best of its use. If we use Gmail, it helps us to organize, it helps us to be much more tech savvy and let people know that yes, these things are also available on Gmail. Now the next tool is, this was the third tool which we discussed. I will discuss now the fourth tool, which is Google Slide. As of now, what we have heard about is PPT. Google Slides is nothing else but an online PowerPoint presentation which we can create for ourselves, with much more facilities available and with better options. That once we have that, normally what happens when we create a PPT, we try to include images, we try to include infographics, and we prepare presentation to best of our abilities. So in that case, the PPT sizes increases. Then we need to send it to someone, how do we send it? Many times it gets like kind of distracted, and the email does not go properly, or we send it and we keep waiting when will they receive the email might fail, all these kind of things. But when, and also if you forget to take the PPT, we are going for a presentation, you might forget it, right? So if you are preparing your Google Slides, if you're using Google Slides to prepare a PPT, it is always available with you. You just need to sign in with your Gmail ID, and you can open your PowerPoint presentation from anywhere. You just need internet for the same. So it becomes very easy for us. It is available with almost all the options what we see. The best part is Google presentation, like the Google Slides also collaborates with Google Docs, Google Sheets. If you want to bring anything from Google Sheets or Google Doc or those kind of things, it can be bought in over here. So those things are easily available, that you don't need to first open an Excel or then copy paste data over here. It's all interconnected. Otherwise, what happens? We need to connect them. Like obviously, it is also available in normal PPT, wherein you can link a spreadsheet or you can link a doc. Those things are available there as well. But in Google Slide, it is all integrated all together. So that means everything is at place. You don't need to see that the connection gets broken. If I'm sending Google PPT, like if I'm sending a normal PPT and I've connected it with linked it with a spreadsheet, I need to send that spreadsheet as well. No, since all the things are connected with one Gmail ID, everything is interconnected and we don't need to worry about that. We can select the layout the way we want to have the layout of each page. And suppose I want to main point, so I select this, or else I can select the theme over here as well, whether I want a dark theme or whether I want this one, whatever thing which I want. And if I want to write a content over here, yes. So it's just the normal, just think it to be a normal PPT and use it. You see all the functions and facilities available, whatever you are looking for. Make it bold, you want to increase the font size. Yes, I want to change the font type. Whatever I want to do, I can do this. Yeah. So this way, it is also having all the different options here over here. So if you want to upload from your computer, your drive, photos by URL, by camera, whatever you want to do, you can add anything over here. You want to add a new slide, you click on it. The slide is added. See, the design was by default, which they have given. So you have so many different options. How easy it becomes to select a theme and then create a PPT. It gives you so many different options. If you want to import some theme, you can import some theme from here as well. So yes, you can import any theme from your gallery or upload a theme if you have created some theme from somewhere else, and you can start creating a presentation. You can create a transition. You can see the layout, and if in second page you want to have a different layout, you can have a different layout. In each page you can have a different layout. You can use shapes. If you want to create any shape, yes, you can. So you have all these shapes available over here, and create a PowerPoint presentation. If you want to add a comment below, you can speak a note or a comment, whatever we want to do. The things which we have been doing with a normal PPT, all the things can be done over here. If you see, you have various options over here. So if you go one by one, you can easily see what all options you have available and make it as useful as you want. You can add a video, you can add an audio, you can add an animation. Whatever we want to do, we can do it from here. Now we can also have add-ons. If I want to mail merge, now suppose you are using this PPT to create a certificate, which is very helpful. So we can do a mail merge through a Google Sheet and have the certificate ready for all the different team members. So if you have if you want to distribute certificate to 500 members and you have those names in a Google sheet, you can connect them by the add-on and add-on mail merge and have the certificate ready. Try that. This mail merge option is available in all different apps of Gmail, whether it is Google Doc, whether it is Google Sheet, whether it is Google Slide. In all these places, you have this add-on of mail merge. You just need to install the add-on and then use it the way you want. Manage add-ons. If you go to manage add-ons or get add-ons, you go there, you find just think of what you are looking for. Based on that, search for it. Not only one, you get multiple options of the add-ons which will help you to achieve what you are looking for, and based on that you can use it. So now let's see, after your PowerPoint presentation is ready, you want to have a good view of it, so you can click on slideshow. Yep, it is showing you your presentation. You have another options over here. Yes, you can also print this if you want to see it into a presenter view, start slideshow with audience question answers and view speakers notes. We can do that. If you want to start from the beginning of the slide, we click on this so that whenever PPT starts, it starts from the first option, like first slide. So all these things are available. The best part is for the PPT is if you want to share it to any of your team members, seniors, client, you just need to add the email ID and they can also see your PowerPoint presentation. So even if you do not email, you want to email it to all the participants. If you are speaking in your like at your office in any other platform and you want people to have that presentation, because you always ask for that PPT, that if I can get those PPTs. So nothing much to be done. You just need to add their email ID and all of them can always have the PPT handy with them. So not much of effort required and your presentation is ready. So once you share the PPT with anyone, it's not that you are just giving them each and every options. You can restrict them that what they can do, what kind of access they can have, whether they want to just view the presentation or they can print it, they can edit it, whatever different options you want to give accordingly based on different people, you can give them the access right. So cool, right? PowerPoint as of now, you might have been using PPT, but now since you know that something like this exists, if you want, you can try the Google slide as well. Now let's see one very important and interesting app of Google, which is Google Site. Now, what is Google Site? Is it a website? Yes, it is a website, but then for website, we need a domain. We need a designer to design a website for us. That is what we think when we talk about the website. But Google Site is not exactly the website which is available for public to view. Google Site is more for you to coordinate and to have a better control of your stuffs, which is just scattered at different places, to be available all at one place. So Google Site is basically an intra site which helps you to organize your organization, to organize your work, to have all your important things at one place. Let's first talk from your study side, and then we will go to how you can use it for the organization where you are working, where you are doing your articleship. How can you make best use of it? You can really impress if you study on Google Intrasite and try to organize your firm. So if you are studying, you know that you have taken notes from different places. You might have taken some papers online. You might have you might have a Google sheet which you have created. You have notes which your teacher has given you online. It is saved in your Google Drive. All these links can be kept at one place so that whenever you want to study, you don't have to locate at different places. You just click on that link and everything is available. And that is only for you. If you want, whomever you share with, that particular person will be able to only see the website. It is not in a public forum which everyone can see. So that is about Google Sites. So let's show you one which we have created for our organization, which is really very helpful for us. It has kind of concised all our different Google Sheets, Excel, or offline files and folders and videos which we keep at different places. It is now all at one place, and it helps me to organize my office much better. So just to make it little fancy, we added a banner, my company logo, and then something about us. But let's go to real thing, the overseas. If I go to overseas, see over here, I did not try to make it too much like good looking or an attractive website. I just tried to serve my purpose as of now. So what I did is, there are different Google Sheets which we have created for different purposes. But now all the team were not on same page. Whenever anyone wanted, they used to copy it, save it in their desktop. It was not updated. And again, when they wanted updated one, then again they were going to a particular file location, copying and keeping in desktop. So, and if they updated something in desktop, the others was not aware that this file has been updated. If there is any such thing, what happens? Everyone is asking, "Are ye file ka update kiske paas hai? Ye file sabse updated kiske paas hai?" No one knows. Everyone is looking for files everywhere. So what we did is, we just moved those sheets or the doc to Google Sheet or Google Doc, and we created a link over here. Just boxed it, named it, and linked it. So now suppose I click on any one of them, it opens a Google Sheet for me. If it is a Google Doc, it will open a Google Doc for me. So I know that everything is here. So each and every team member knows where they can find the file, and it will be updated one. Anyone in the office who might have updated that file will go there only and update. They won't have any copy, a separate copy in the different computers. So all the things comes at one place like this. If I want to create a Google form, which Sanjeev sir did, Google Doc, Google Sheet, each and everything can be connected over here. Not only the internal files, the external links. If you want to have some YouTube links to be over here so that your team can listen to it, so that your team can work with, like, listen to those videos before working. Those are important links for you, important sections, anything which we want, we can create that link over here. So this way we created different departments of the organization, and related to each department, we have created these links. So the best part is, using this, we could organize our interview as well. All my interview questions is over here. Whenever a person comes for interview, we take their Gmail ID, and particularly we just give them the interview link, so the Google form link. So earlier what used to happen, we always used to print that paper and then give them to give the interview, but now nothing is required. They all have, most of them have a Gmail ID. We just take the Gmail ID, we share the link, and if a person, if an HR or the concerned person who takes the interview is not available, anyone in the organization can at least give them this form for interview. So everyone is in the same page. So this we have created different tabs or different menu bar based on the different departments we have, and each one in the organization is aware what is going on. The new trainees, the new person who joins us, we give them this training section. So here we have YouTube link which they can listen to. We have our own videos which we have uploaded over here. All these are the videos which has been uploaded. So they can go into each one of them, check the video, listen to it. So this is a kind of a repository for us. We have all our stuffs. It's an almirah, an organized almirah for us, so that all of us know that in which section of my wardrobe, what can I find. It's like kind of an organized and arranged wardrobe for us, which helps us to find anything anytime. Even if I'm not at office, I can tell them that, yes, this file is available over here. You can go in and use it. So we reduce the dependency on one particular person and bring all the organization team members at one place. So that's the power of Google site. Now let's see how do we create it. Just a quick glance of it. Obviously, it's it's easy, but someone just need to research a bit on it, go over it, try different options, and then work on it. It's very easy, very simple. So the link is sites.google.com. If you are logged in into your Gmail, you just type into your URL sites.google.com. It takes you to Google site. What I did is, let me go slow. I came over here. I clicked on start a new site. Also, you are not limited to just create one site. If you have different offices and you want to create a Google site, if you have different branches and you want to create this Google site different for different branches or any such different departments, you can do so also. Like if your office is too big, you want that one department should not see the other department details. Yes, that is also possible, and we can create multiple sites. So I came to sites.google.com. I get an option of blank. That means I want to create a new Google site. I click on it and I can just start with it. So here is a blank title I want to put. If I want to put any title, I can. If I do not want to, I do not. If whatever site name I want to give, I can give. So Sarita, that is the site name I want to give. So accordingly, it will change the name. I want to add the logo of my company. I can add the logo over here. If not required, I do not add. It is not forcing me to do anything. So it's an easy way to create your own site. I want to upload, instead of this image or this abstract image, I want to upload a certain image. I can upload it. I can select an image. So it gives me the whole set of images which is available. I can search it from Google and upload. I can search it from Google Drive. I can search it from Google Photos. Wherever I want, from there I can select an image and put it over here. Yeah, so the page is created. Now, see over here. You have so many different options. Here you have content blocks, the way you want to see the website. If you want something like this, yes. If you want something like this, creating 2 sections, it has created above it. So I'm just adding the section. First section, I added this. Second section, I added this. Third section, I want to add something like this. So I can just keep on adding the section based on my requirement, and it will add these sections for me. Now, if I want to add an image over here, I upload an image. See, this icon means an image. This over here means text, and I can include anything over here. So I can upload an image, a YouTube link, whatever I want to do, I can do. So suppose I want to upload a YouTube link. So it takes me to YouTube. I search a link. So, yep, let me include one of the video from here. I select it. Now, whenever I want, I can play that video over here. Yes, see, this video can be played directly over here. Now, if I have created a section over here wherein I want to embed some link. So I can embed any URL over here. If I want to embed a code, many sites gives you a code which can be just pasted over here, and that site's actual data would be displayed over here. If I want that, I can add embedded code as well. If I want to add a file from a drive, I click over here. I can add a file from a drive as well. So whatever I want to do, it does not restrict me on anything. I can do whatever I want. So this is the best way to bring all the things. So that was just above section, which gives me 4 options: text box, images, drive, embed, and this was the blocks which I created. Now, if you come over here, you have so many different things. If you want to create a table of content, you click that. So if I don't need this section, I can just delete it. I mistakenly created it, so I deleted it. If I come over here, yes, I want over here table of content. I can put it over here, and I can start typing over here, add heading, and they will appear in your table of content. So I can do that. So if you want an image carousel means moving images, 4 to 5 images, we can do that. If you like the site which I showed you that had buttons, so I can create buttons over here. I need to add a link to that button. On clicking on that button, where should it take me? So I can do that. So let me add that Google slide, which we just created. So this button has been created for me. There I added a text. So whenever I'll publish it, after that, what will happen is when I click on this link, it will take me to that Google slide which I just created. So once this way, you have so many different options. You can add a map for any particular location. You can add your calendar so that you can see your calendar directly from here. The docs, the slides, the sheets, whatever you want to add, any kind of thing. Normally, the button which I created, that should be used for external link if I want to link it. But if you want to add Google's product, like the Google apps, Google Slides, Sheets, Forms, and these kind of things, you can directly use these things which is available over here. All these are all Google products which is being shown over here. The YouTube, the calendar, map, anything which you want, you can add it over here. If you want to create a placeholder, we can do that. And now here, whatever you want to do, you can do that. So all these different options are available over here. Once you design your site, what next? You can check the preview. How will it look once it is done? Since we did it very bad, it is just showing like this. How will it come in mobile? It will show you. How will it come in your tablet? It will show you all the different views. You think it looks good. Yep, it's perfect. I can publish it. Once I publish it, the link will be available and I can give the web address, publish it to the web. This is a great address, but it's already taken. So based on whatever is available, you can just try it over here and that would be available. So this is by default what Google gives you. https sites.google.com/view, and after that at the end whatever we want. So the way we had created our site, since the name was available, we got this CIS, the insider home. Same way, if I want to create and with my name, let's see whether it is available. Yes, Sarita Agarwal is available. So if I create this, this is my link by which I can open. This is my link. Whomever I want to view, I can give them this particular link for viewing it. And we can also add people who can manage this website with us, and we can also link it with a domain. If we want to take an internal domain which would be only for our organization, we can take that, and particularly domain can be linked so that we don't have to use this Google's link earlier. Like it would be totally our custom domain which would be using this only for the intra site. So that ways we can do that. If we want it to be available for public search, we can. If we do not want, we can restrict it. So once we publish, the site is ready to be used. So we are not restricted to just create one page. If you see our intra site had multiple pages. So here you have options to add more pages. I can add more page, whatever page I want, home, and then admin, then HR, whatever page we want, we can add. So anytime when you do any new stuffs, you again need to publish it so that the changes are also published. You can add other people who can manage the this Google intra site with you, so that, and you can give them the access, particularly based on your purpose. Like if you want them only to view the website, yes. If you want them to edit and manage the intra site along with you, you can give them that options as well. So it's very interesting. Just try it out. It was not, I won't say it is like just you start with it and you are able to do it. It is not something for which you need a designing background or you need a specialized knowledge. No, it is just pick and drop and few experiments which you want to do anything which you want. It might not look so good initially, but you know what all you want to bring. Once you have all your stuffs, whatever you want to bring over here at organized, then you want to place it at different locations and make it look better so that everyone can find it handy and work on it. So it's really helpful. Guys, try it. And yes, in case you need any help, if you face any problem, please contact me. I'll be more than happy to help you so that you can also organize yourself, your organization, your firm, and get started on this. So these were the tools which I wanted to show you today. The 5 tools, I'll just summarize the session now. The 5 tools which we learned today with me was Gmail, Google Slides, Google Keep, Google Calendar, and sites.google.com. So these were the 5 apps which I just wanted to show you. Yes, 1 or 2 apps you already knew, but yes, along with that, there was additional things which we could do that app, which I tried to add to this session. So, Smita, off to you.
Yes, ma'am. It was indeed a wonderful session. So, can I take up some questions
Yeah,
from
sure.
the students? Yeah,
Sure.
most of them you have already covered since it was a very informative session. All the things which you told us were very new. Like we normally use Google and Gmail, but we don't know about certain things. Like we can mark some confidential information to it, and all these things like the locks and all. Scheduling, yes, we can do, but how to do it was very nicely explained by you as well as Sanjeev sir. Also, it was a very interesting and informative. None of the point we felt like leaving the this thing session because it was so informative, ma'am. And most of the questions which have been raised by students have been already been answered by you, but still it was like there is one question that can we set an expiry time to the Google Forms which has been created for a specific requirement?
Yes, you can.
Okay, and how we can do it, ma'am?
So I know it can be done, but presently I'm not very immediately whether I can show you or not.
No problem. Yeah.
But yes, if they try to search Google,
Okay,
they
it
can
can be
easily
done.
see that yes, you can expire like you can create an expiry time for a particular Google form that after that it won't be available.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, the 100 mails can be deleted, but somehow we have too many emails which needs to be deleted, and we have to personally go to that mail. Like there are few mails which are read on a single page. So while deleting the 100 mails, we have to just scroll to the 100 mails, and then we have to go and delete them without even reading. Yes, we can do it, but still we have to search it first. So can we do it in one go?
Yeah, so you can use filter. So suppose you create filters, you need to create filters very well. The filters are available with endless options. So
I
as
think
best filters you create,
deleting at one go is never a good solution because you might lose some
Miss out
important.
some important. Yes,
So it's
definitely.
always better to use filters. Otherwise, you can always select all and delete it. If you know and sure about this, you can always select all for a particular date range and you can delete all those emails.
And what about confidential mails? Can we delete it from our sent mail items also?
I think anything which you want to delete, you can. The only thing is that in a cloud environment, nothing is actually deleted. It is basically trashed. So it's basically gone into a separate folder which you can let recover. So there is nothing called a permanent delete in a cloud.
Okay.
It's just going out from your view, from your access, but the server always have those information.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because if you want to conduct a session on data security, anything on cloud is never deleted. It always changes status to a bar status or status where you are purging a document, which means you are not allowed to get access to it. You cannot view it. You cannot edit it. But it's still there on the server.
Okay. And can we transform or convert the Microsoft Excel to a Google Sheet?
Yeah, that's an easy fix. Like in the Google Sheet, there's an option called download. Like if you want, I can show you that right away.
Yes.
Let's say if this is the file, there's an option called download where you can download it into an Excel. And same way, any Excel file can be converted by opening that into a Google Sheet. That's an easy fix.
Yes, sir. And so, is it a very good idea to have our passwords and all on the Gmail as a mail to ourselves or something like that? Is it a secure way of doing it? No?
It's never a good idea to have a password on Gmail or any cloud environment. I think there is an option called LastPass. I don't know how many of you have heard that.
No, sir,
But
I haven't.
there are many tools which are available. Let me share a screen once again. There are many tools, and one of the tools I can share is LastPass. So what it does is basically it's a password manager from anywhere. So what it does is basically it allows you to, let's say you're working on 20 different applications, that will be saved over here.
Okay.
And all you need to do is just click over there, it will straightway take you to that particular thing. So it's just one key to all the things, but then your password is not accessible to anyone.
Oh, that's great, sir. Great option, sir.
And then whenever you want, you can, through your main password, you can go in and change the credentials regularly. It will give you reminders to, so have a password manager. So there are a lot of good password managers. Go into google.com and you type in password manager. You'll come up with a lot of good, tools on password managers. So in fact, Google also have their own password manager system.
Okay. So all these are safe, right?
All these are safe. So see, this is also one of the, Google has its own tool called Google Password Manager. Again, as I said, Google has got more than 100 different tools available. So you can, don't use it on a Gmail, but try and use Google Passwords.
Okay.
If at all you want to stick to Google Password.
Right, sir. Right. Thanks a lot, sir. So heading towards the ending of the session. So I would like to thank everyone who is present online right now.
Yes, we have more than 200 students.
Yes, definitely, sir. All of us are enjoying the session. It was so informative. I've already stated it many times, but truly it was an amazing session which we had today. And I would like to thank our Honorable Chairman, Sir, Sushil Goyal, sir, and our Vice Chairman, sir, who is C.S. Sridhar Mupalaji, and both of our you speakers, like C.S. Sanjeev Tangi, sir, and C.S. Sarita Agarwal, ma'am. Both of you were so entertaining, so informative, and the session was truly a very good session. We never felt like having this, like boredom was not there. It was, nothing was monotonous. It was so informative that we were stuck and glued to our screens. And for taking this wonderful session, I would like to express our sincere thanks. And we would like to have you in our next sessions also. And thank you. Thanks a lot from the whole SSCB team who has been working every Sunday.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.